Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another Brave 9 video. Alright, so I think this week is the final week for the weekly arena season of counting anything that's within this year, right? 2020. So I decided to give it a shot to try my best to hopefully get to challenger rank. But I failed. Alright, I didn't try hard enough, you know. So here's what I end up in. Alright, so if you guys didn't join the live stream earlier, alright, so Grandmaster 1, GM1, 2,881 points at rank 12. Alright, so rank 12 is a pretty huge achievement though. I've never reached like this close, and I feel like I could have done it if I spam more swords and start earlier. I sort of start like maybe like 4 to 5 hours before the reset. I should have spent the whole day and just spam all the arena swords as much as I can. So surprisingly, this formation works pretty well for me. Alright, the defense lock is 34%, attack is 87% win rate. Alright, so what is different from this particular formation compared to what I have last week, right? So if you guys notice, I decided to remove Galenia. Alright, so there's no Galenia, number one, there's no Velter. Alright, so Velter has been replaced with Helga. It's a bit confusing. Helga's costume looks like Fortisha, so it gets really confusing. And then I decided to bring in Vals. So I'm using both Vals and Asmode. The problem with the previous form is because I use Galenia, so I have to decide if I want to use Vals or Asmode. I can only pick one of them. But I decided to ditch Galenia away and go for this form. And you know what? It works really well offensively. Defensively, I guess it's not too bad as well, but I would say this is a pretty good form that performs really well in the current meta. Alright, so with that being said, let me show you guys some battles, so hopefully you guys can see it for yourself how this formation actually works. Okay, so fighting Wind Burns. Okay, so enemy has Galenia, Frisha, Marmone in the middle, and Lucius. Okay, so something that I want to think that I've been thinking of trying to use myself is maybe replacing my Gran with Lucius. But in this case, you can see that Gran's taunt can be really helpful sometimes. Alright, not all the time, but sometimes. Like in this particular battle. Alright, except for that point where Gran just get destroyed by Olivia. But that's something that, you know, you can only do so much of. Enemy Vals got a charm because my Asmode is positioned at the back. So that's the reason why Asmode is positioned at the back in alignment with a Gran. Okay, so next up we have Kaden. So I believe this is a Alec. This guy has both Alec and Vals. And you can see the Vals is going first, surprisingly. Not Alec, Vals first. So Asmode will take care of the Gran for me. Easy. And then we're gonna have, okay, a couple of them take the hits. So since the COR is down from the enemy, like you can see, let me see, Vals is 15, right? Vals is 15 max rank boosted, Alec is 15 max rank boosted, and you guys saw, Vals could not one-shot my Gran, and Alec could. So ideally, in most cases, Alec is going to be better early on, because the problem with Vals is Vals scales better off with Graves, right? So she will need some grace to do a lot of damage, and can only do that later on, right? When there's grace produced. Okay, so I'm fighting a challenger player right here. So that's an Asmode going in with Vals first, Alec first, okay? So this guy went with Alec first, and Vals later on. So ideally this should be the standard way of you using, oh my god, Natus! Oh! Whew, Natus power. Okay, because Natus failed to kill my Velfern, okay? He did kill everyone except for my Velfern right there. So the firepower wasn't enough, alright? So that means I will be able to carry this to victory. Yeah, that Natus, man. Scary at times. Alright, next up let's have a look at this player called DXCo, which a lot of people have been making fun of because I encountered him like more than 10 times. It's not even funny. I encountered him more than 10 times throughout in the arena. Okay, so my form seems to counter him that well. Surprisingly, he's one of the few players that still uses Seto this high end in the arena. Alright, most players decide to ditch their Seto, and he still uses them with bravery. His Seto is positioned in front, which I thought was super risky because Mamone is everywhere, right? So yeah, you can see the Alec clearly has power right there. I think his Mamone lacks the power. Let me see. Mamone is 15? What? I don't know, I feel like my Mamone is stronger than his, but either way, his Seto is really unique. Okay, so this one is a bit different. So I'm fighting a Chinese name. So I think this form I'm struggling against forms like this. Alright, Mamone at the back. And then we have a Velfern, Livia, Galenia form. Alright. So, that Mamone sort of is a very tanky Mamone for sure. And this Vals surprisingly is strong enough to one-shot my Grand. Okay, so that I assume is because of the Helga's buff. And you guys saw, even the Celia was able to kill my Vals as well. Which is crazy. I feel like I want to try to go Vital Runes on Vals as well to see if that can help me counter Celia a bit. Because yeah, Celia killing Vals is something that you cannot avoid, and no matter what you try, because Vals is so squishy. And yeah, that's the only way that I can think of trying to do that. Okay, so this one is a bit unique. Alright, if you guys are a Natus abuser, right? Look at this. This guy's Natus is literally in the defensive lane at the bottom, which is really different, okay? His Natus is like at the bottom. So I thought that was really different. Alright, regardless, I still have my, Asmode 2 Vals combo going in. So that Natus will definitely end up dying for sure, because my Grand is in that same lane. Boom. Okay, so Natus going in first. So surprisingly, Grand didn't die right there, so does Mamone. Okay, so I still have my energy gut. And at this point, yeah, because enemy is struggling with my Grand. Like, Grand literally carries me right there. Okay, last battle. Let's have a look at Night Lord. So this is a Frisha front abuser as well. So this formation sort of is in my favor because I do have Asmode. So that was a double kill instantly. And then I go into the back and just hit 2. But that was a strong Vals for sure, not gonna lie. Going in with Velfern. And then, yeah, at that point it's just a Mamone alone. And he could barely tank. So yeah, overall, as you can see from all those battles that I've showed you, a lot of things that we can take from this. I think some of you guys who came into the chat was asking me as well, how come there's not much Lucius anymore, right? So in the current meta, Lucius is just, he's not cutting it anymore, alright? He gets destroyed by Mamone. And Mamone is just a better Lucius at this point. In terms of offensive power wise, DPS wise, Mamone has more offensive power for sure. Mamone's attack skills of her HP, right? And it even deals barrier ignoring additional damage. And she has Death Guard and Energy Guard as well, so 2 in 1. And in most cases, she also has the Nullifier, which is really strong in the current meta. Nullifier and Buff Prohibition. Mamone is the reason why Bane is no longer seen in the higher tier of the arena, for sure. Bane was dominating literally like 1.5 months ago, alright? Bane, Kaelin, like, because you can't really utilize the taunt anymore, those units are rendered useless. And with that being said, we have Grand climbing back up because she is the only one that can still taunt regardless of, you know, whatever shit that the enemy has. You know, Mamone has Tonally Fire, doesn't matter. Gran will always be able to taunt because of her reflective counter. So which makes Gran super strong right now. So I'm not sure if the Seer meta that is coming ahead is going to switch things up. I'm definitely curious for sure. Let me know what you guys think. No Galenia form, it seems to work very well. Very close to Challenger rank, and I'm gonna say it's not worth it, especially, you know, especially for free-to-play players, because the amount of swords I actually burn is like 300 to 400 swords. Like if you get there, sure, you can get some bonus rewards in return, right? Yeah, so in terms of Grandmaster versus Challenger, right? So let's say I get the Challenger, I'm getting like what, 100 more diamonds, 835 diamonds as opposed to 935. You have to weigh in this amount of diamonds versus how many swords you actually buy from the arena shop, right? Because at the end of the day, if you are going to spend more swords, it's not going to be worth it unless you are a whale. If you are a free to play, most of the time Grandmaster is probably the best rank that you should stay at. Don't try to push too much, because going higher up, if you're doing it for the achievements, sure, but if you're trying to catch up every single week, and if you don't succeed, you're literally wasting your swords for no reasons, alright? I mean, you do get the honor points and stuff, but that's what I think. So in case you guys ask me again in the future, why don't I go for Challenger more often? I honestly think that it's not worth it in terms of the effort, the time investment, and also the diamonds investment to be buying the arena swords etc. But yeah, that's just my opinion, of course. Of course, it's going to depend on the server as well. I'm on Asia server. Maybe it's much more active here, I don't know. But for some servers that has less players, maybe it's much more worth it because there's less players that you're competing with. So yeah, just sharing it with you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. Appreciate you guys for watching my videos. Till now, a lot of you guys have been giving me consistent support throughout in the entire year of 2020. So hopefully we can move forward in 2021 and I can make better contents, and any feedbacks will be appreciated. Alright guys, take care, have a nice day, goodbye.